This French streamer Jean Pormanove was humiliated and abused for years on live stream until eventually he ended up passing away on stream. And the abusers, to my knowledge, have faced zero punishment for their crimes so far. And just to show you how serious this situation is, someone posted on Twitter here a Google Drive link that has over 1,700 examples of clips of this guy being abused by the fuckwads that were his friends on stream. And it's just crazy because you can just infinitely scroll forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And every clip that you see of this guy that's been reposted on Twitter and whatnot, I'm not gonna show any of it. I may play audio or something from it, but it's just him screaming so loud because they're beating him on stream. That's the content, that's the entertainment. For some reason, some sick individuals are watching even more sick individuals torture a poor man on live stream. And if you haven't guessed already, this happened on the streaming platform Kick, the place that literally promotes degeneracy. It was only a matter of time until something this tragic happened. And it's awful. And apparently, according to this post, he was dead on live stream for 50 minutes before anything even happened. And the chat was just laughing through it all, slapping their knee and everything, putting fucking laughing emojis in chat, because this is the type of community that they fostered by making this kind of content. It's like it's literal dark web type of content being broadcasted on a huge streaming platform. I'll show you a very, very short clip of just one example of what these assholes did to him. And that's all I'm going to show you, because those examples like that literally go on for minutes and minutes straight. And they were literally, at one point here, I'll show you the still frame, they were like waterboarding him with paint and disgusting shit. I genuinely don't understand what the point of this content is, besides literally just being torture porn. And the names of the people who were directly responsible for this type of treatment, the ones who called themselves his savior, from what I understand, because it's in a different language, I can't understand the clips, but from what I've read and stuff, the people named Owen, Safine, and JP, who are all pictured here, I really don't know which one's which, but it's those three names that are responsible for basically calling themselves his saviors, taking Jean from homelessness and telling him that basically being on stream and being their punching bag was his only ticket to be out of poverty and have a decent life. So they were keeping him as a pet, or not even a pet, a lower than a pet, just to do whatever they pleased with him for their entertainment. But all they were really doing was gaslighting him and just brainwashing him into thinking that he deserved this kind of treatment because they were allowing him to live a good life. It breaks my heart because I never even heard of this situation, mainly because it's French streamers and I don't watch French streamers, but I didn't even hear about any of this until Jean passed away. And what really pisses me off is this article I just seen that says online death of abused French streamer was not result of trauma, prosecutor says. Yeah, and I'm fucking Batman. You're gonna tell me that years and years of abuse constantly over and over and over on video, on stream, doesn't have a hand in him dying at such an early age? The guy was 46 years old. But apparently, as the prosecutor said, that when an autopsy showed no trace of traumatic injuries that could explain the death, and that the probable cause of death therefore appeared to be medical or toxicological in origin. And they're also saying that he had cardiac issues and that he was undergoing medical treatment for his thyroid gland. Even if that was the case, there is evidence, video evidence of these people assaulting him, abusing him for years. That has to count for something. If not, it's making his cardiac issues and thyroid issues worse at the very least. I think they deserve murder charges, but at the least, the minimal punishment they deserve is manslaughter, because they have a hand in his death. And even if they didn't, they deserve to face jail time and punishment for the shit they have been live streaming themselves doing to him. Even not just the three names that I named, but there were women that came on that I think were his family members. Just basically any guest on the stream ended up beating him or assaulting him or abusing him in some way. He was a punching bag for all of these sick assholes to enjoy at their pleasure. And the people watching are even more sick too for watching that kind of content. And I found another thing on Twitter here. Someone made a thread of just like stuff that happened to him throughout the years. And since 2023, he's just, it shows like how the saviors are beating him while people are just laughing the entire time and enjoying it. And I don't want to show any of this because it's just constant, and it's him screaming every single clip. Every single clip. But I guess the group he was in was called TK78. And I guess this dude is the one named Safine. And that's a clip of them literally shooting him with paintballs as he screams. It's just I can't watch this stuff, man. It's so sickening to just watch this and reflect on how this has happened so constantly, so persistently through years and years and years. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently they were paying him like a €6,000 monthly salary. And I didn't even know this till I was just scrolling through, but Jean's mom was regularly trying to plead with him to leave to not endure the abuse. Which takes me to another clip I found where he, like, apparently it says he was on the phone with his mom, and it says, "Hey mom, how are you? Stuck to death with his game. It's going too far. I feel like I'm being held hostage with their shitty concept. I'm fed up. I want to get out. The other guy won't let me. He's holding me hostage." And that's a message that he sent to his mom, which I don't know if that's them reading his messages or something. I don't really know what's going on in the clip. I wish I could understand French so I could get a better grasp on these clips. They're just taking advantage of him to the full effect. Using like a power dynamic to take advantage of people is the most twisted thing you can do. These guys doing that to him are just inhuman. And there's so many clips. Like, so if you just scroll through Twitter, you can see so many things of these people doing just heinous shit to him. There's no way to beat around the bush about this. This is torture and abuse that was broadcast to thousands or hundreds of thousands, a lot of people for years, with nobody taking action. The platform let it stay on there for the entirety until the man passed away, which they deserve to face some sort of punishment for that. The abusers and the torturers deserve the most of the punishment. They never deserve to see the light of day ever again, and they need to be in a cell with Mark Henry to make them kiss him on his hot mouth every day. And lastly, the people that enjoyed this entertainment, if you want to even call it that, it's torture. If you enjoyed this torture, you're the problem. You are the reason that it went on for so long and allowed to build up to this point where he lost his life. You are partially to blame. You encouraged it, you laughed at him, and now he's gone. And no doubt the last few years of his life had to have been tormentous. He seemed to have had a shitty hand dealt to him in general for life, but nobody deserves that kind of treatment, especially from people that are saying they're his friends and his saviors. Which I guess it makes sense that they call themselves his saviors and then treat him like that, thinking that they're better than him, that he's not even on the same level of being a human as them. It's sickening, man. I hate seeing stuff like this. This is one of the saddest examples of someone being used for content that I've ever seen. So I just wanted to talk about it real quick. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.